What is up, guys? Welcome to another beautiful day in the Matrix. Back at it here on the next layer. You guys. We talk about meme coins, we talk about altcoins, we get into technical analysis, and we talk about the stuff that no one else is talking about. And as you guys have been probably paying attention to the market, Fed interest rates, we just had a cut. We got some blood in the market. Everybody's freaking out, and it's just another beautiful day in the Matrix. Bill the Bull, how we doing today, sir? And what's your general overview of the market right now?
Dude, I'm good, man. I'm like putting all my effort into this bull run. You got less than a year to really make it for your bloodlines. I'm sacrificing sleep. I'm sacrificing health, which I don't recommend, but I'm doing it because the time is now, and I'm excited, man. I don't care at all about the short-term moves. The Matrix is designed to shake the non-believers out, and if you're shaking out, you don't deserve to be here. Don't sweat it. Probably don't leverage trade. Bullish. I'm more bullish than ever. I don't care what's going on right now. Short term.
Absolutely. And, when I saw everyone getting into this Fed interest rate cut, and so you guys know, the reason why interest rates are extremely important, it just gets into how much money gets put into circulation, gets into inflation, and all these really confusing metrics. But if you make it very simple, when interest rates goes down, that means more money can be borrowed for business, mortgages, and all that good stuff. Why do the crypto bros love this? Because if there's more money being borrowed, there's more money hitting the market, and then that means Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes up, all this stuff goes up. So we had a little bit of a market ritual today. I wouldn't really call it market ritual, but we're currently in a correction. Everybody's freaking out. I don't think there's anything bad that's going to happen. I think it's just business as usual. So, Bill the Bull, with the interest rate cuts, what do you think we should expect for the rest of this month?
Little chop, because a lot of things have pumped so hard. Just typical, normal, healthy retracements, gearing up. And I think after Christmas and the beginning of January is just game on. And again, that's like the new tax year starts. And this 100% reminds me of 2021, December timeframe, where it was a lull, then it starts, the new year hits, tax has been reset. Is just all in. So I think a lot, what I think a lot of it is too, if you think about it, Chris, a lot of people are probably either taking, short-term capital losses, or they're taking some to apply for next year, for March if you're in the USA. So there's a lot of tax write-offs. A lot of people are waiting. So they purposely have sold, whether they're, regardless of their positions, and they're going to buy back in right away. The start of the new year, start of the tax season. So nothing changes. I think glorious pumps all throughout January, and so I am just ready as always.
Awesome. Good stuff, man. So, just getting into what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk a little bit about base because, last live stream we didn't get into that. And then we'll talk about what's going on Pulsechain. We'll get some good, interesting plays. I know we had a few requests. Somebody wanted me to talk about the Poppy token, and I want to apologize because I completely forgot to mention that. And then, yeah, man, we'll just keep it rocking and rolling. So, for our first piece of news, which I'm actually really excited about. This is actually awesome. So I'm going to share a tweet real quick. Mr. Miggles on base said, "We are excited to announce that Mr. Miggles IP now officially is licensed by Per Labs in collaboration with Coinbase. Together with Coinbase, we're launching a creators fund to support and empower the brightest creators in the game for the culture, for base, yada, yada, yada." Beautiful video. And then we scroll down here and check this out. I'm gonna zoom in on this because I want all you guys to see this. After Miggles put this tweet out, the Coinbase account says, "Love a good creator fund." Bill the Bull, what's your reaction to this? And what do you think about Mr. Miggles?
I don't think anyone owns enough Miggles. Simple as that. I think this is the easiest play in base. If you're bullish on base, this is a massive leverage play. I don't care about any other project. I don't care about Brett. I don't care about Toshi. I don't care about KeyCat. All fine, all great. But this is the only project that I have seen Coinbase actually shoot a message to support what they're doing, and they're actually collaborating. I could be wrong. Maybe there's like Aerodrome or something that they've tweeted about, but a pure base meme, I just see the writing on the wall. That is their baby, this Miggles thing. and they have licensed the IP to the CTO, which is Miggles. Now they're collaborating to work on this creator fund. They've set out, their Per Labs entity that will be able to get them the access into these brands, these stores, which you have to have a structure to do so to abide by the law. I just think this is the easiest home run play. My only question would be, Chris, how do I prevent myself from cheating too early? Because I think the gains are going to be astronomical, and I think that's the only issue I have is, wow, I'm going to see numbers on the screen I never imagined. What do I do? So I think it's a home run. I think it's the number one play on base. I'll say that right now. I think it is going to be even more than Brett. I'm just ready, man. And I think their NFTs are massively undervalued. So, what is your favorite? Obviously, you love Miggles. Is that your number one too on base?
Absolutely. I love the Miggles project. I actually bet big on Miggles. And then there's also I think two other projects I made, but Miggles is my biggest holdings. And the reason why I love Miggles is because I think they're going to list this token on base. You got the
Yeah.
creator fund, you have what was this? It said something about like IP, intellectual
Well,
properties now.
they've licensed the IP from Coinbase.
Yeah. So now that, in my opinion, that's a way to avoid any sort of legal troubles down the road. And
Yeah.
so I think this clears up Mr. Miggles listing on base. And when that happens, dude, normies can buy this. People you go to the gym can buy it. Your mom, your grandparents, everybody can buy it because base is so easy to use. And Bill, to answer your question, the best way for you to stop cheating Miggles is to buy an actual Miggles cat. That's what you should do. Just buy a cat.
Just remind myself every day. I can't cheat, cat. I go down with the ship.
Yeah. And then and we all know Goo God, he hates Mr. Miggles. Like he absolutely thinks this is a terrible project. He's been
Terrible.
cheating it out of it. And I'm just kidding. Shout out to Goo God, man. It's good to see you in here, man. Goo God loves Mr. Miggles. And then shout out to Brandon. Shout out to Rax Riches, founder of the Morpheus token, the Texans token, absolutely putting in work. So overall, I mean, yeah, man, I think this is awesome for the Mr. Miggles project. And in your opinion, do you think Mr. Miggles is a potential player for $1 billion market cap meme coin?
Easy. I mean, I think without a Coinbase listing, it's going to bill. Just look at the chart. The chart looks absolutely incredible. I think though, like Brett got $1 billion valuation without being unlisted. And Brett, to be honest with you, Brett Maxey's, it's a stupid meme. I mean, no offense, but like it's not a cool meme. Yeah, Crash is controlled. It's cabal centered. It was the chosen one, early 2024 to get base on the map, but I don't think it's the chosen one now. I think Miggles is. I think Coinbase is working with them, shouting them out. So I think I think one of the lessons is don't get, accustomed to if you're on the top, you're going to stay on the top. I don't think that's ever the case. I think Brett has a lot of work to kind of like create a brand that people want to align with, but I think the NFTs especially kind of gives a better sense of cult-like community for the meme because you now have all these people rocking the Miggles avatar, rating the post. That's a very undervalued thing, so they show apart. People are going to be wanting to be a part of that network. Cat Meta is here. So I think multi-billions is no doubt. There's some crazy valuations. I mean, this thing could go 20, 30, 40 billion, especially with the Coinbase listing. And if it's the chosen one. So I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a play of one of the plays of or actually the play of this cycle on base.
I agree, man. I agree. And, in my opinion, I think a realistic target for something like Miggles, in my opinion, is going to be 10 billion. But I wouldn't take my word for it. I would probably say 1 billion on the conservative side, 10 billion more on the aggressive side. And then if you're probably one of our Degen friends, then you're probably going to say like something crazy like 100 billion or trillion. So, hey, more power to you. So, just kidding. So, I mean, just looking at this overall price chart, we came up, we absolutely exploded. Me and Bill literally gave you guys two bottoms to get in. Bill called this bottom right here and said there's potential breakout right here. Came across, breakout didn't play out. Then we came down here and that's where I made a insane entry, came up, traced sideways, and then boom, see you later. So right now we're just flagging out a little bit, just coming down. Well, I
It's
guess
a
you can kind of
flag
say
out,
it's flag.
which is curling upwards. It's just beautiful. That's the thing I like. It's like a nice consolidation, curving upwards. You know, this is just a wave. This is the microwave 2 of the macro wave 3. So just let it play out, and then once it hits, what's that line? With that wick.
Right
That's
here.
no, the one below that.
Like
Yeah,
what?
no, the one
Uh,
above it. The one above it. That's currently resistance. So scroll. You see that one right there? Yeah. What's that level?
19 cents.
Oh no, that's
Right
the
here,
top. So that you're at the top. You see that next line right there, right there, right there. Go
right
down.
there.
No,
Go
go
down
down.
right here, right here.
Yeah, you see how there's the two wicks that are like acting as resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would that be? That would be like one. Anyways,
Uh,
that middle line.
0.09.
Okay. Well, yeah. You see, if once it clears that, holds its support, this thing's just gonna go off. I think the race to a billion is happening once this thing eventually curls up and just pops through. So, patience will pay, and it's if you're long ETH, you got to be long Miggles as it's
Gotcha.
play.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. But yeah, no, I definitely do agree. You know, we are flagging out, but overall, you know, I definitely am seeing a beautiful inverse head and shoulders right here on the daily. So what this is telling me is that it's ready to come up, test all-time highs, and then start getting a price discovery. And like you said, man, we just got through microwave 1 of wave 3, and then we're about to get to
Yeah.
microwave. Well, we're in 2, but then we're about to start wave 3
Mm-hmm.
of wave 3, the microwave 3 of wave 3. And the best way is, I know this sounds like a foreign language to you guys, but this is the pump that's going to be
Yeah.
absolutely bananas. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
Oh, I'm even buying. I've actually made a pretty decent purchase yesterday, at these levels. Like I don't think we go below the 80 million mark or whatever. I mean, that would literally just spell disaster. I think this is a pro class market maker working. This is like your last entry. I think anyone listening, if you're on the fence on Miggles, this is your last time. Get in around the 80 to 100 million mark, 110, and that's it. And then don't touch it the rest of the cycle, because once this breaks out, it's gone till the whole time. So, don't buy on the next wave up, the next leg up. Don't try to time it. That's when you're going to get burned. You have every opportunity to get in. And if you're fading it, that's fine. But just know that, like, you need to choose your entries. And once the entries is gone, that's it. Then you miss the boat. Just understand that. Do not FOMO. That would be my honest opinion. And all it takes, Chris, honestly, it just naturally, imagine just out of nowhere, boom, Coinbase is listing Miggles. What do you think is going to happen?
go absolutely crazy.
See you at a billion.
See you at a billion, baby. See you at a
In
billion.
price discovery, the sky's the limit, and things can pump so hard because no one's going to be selling. No one. So, I mean, I think the market makers know. I think everyone knows that this thing, things like Ski Cat can go to, or Ski Mask Dog can go to like 300 million. And honestly, just because, and from like 2 million lows to 300 recently, and that's only because they had a big YouTuber talk about them who has like, 2 million subscribers. Coinbase dwarfs that. So this is just inevitable to me. I'm excited that I finally have a bag that I'm just not touching, don't care. It's in cold storage. I'm just chilling. Can't cheat if there's in cold storage.
Yeah, man. Love it. And you brought up market maker. And the one thing I will say about this is you can definitely tell there's a market maker in this price chart based off of this sideway action, how it's consolidating, because that gives a lot of big players the opportunity to enter. That's one thing I noticed with projects like this. And like you said, man, Coinbase listing, man, we're going to go absolutely crazy. So we buy Miggles on Uniswap and we sell it on Coinbase. That's how this thing works. So
Yes, sir. And I think someone, before we go into Pulse, because I think there's a lot to talk, I saw someone's comment. Since I'm on my phone, I can't highlight it, but they wanted to know if we know any other base plays besides Miggles. So, Chris, why don't you give two and I'll give two, and then, what other two, if any, interest you?
all right. Actually, I got a pretty good one, and technically it's a base play, but this one's actually going to throw a curveball at you, man. So I'm curious. I'm excited to see your reaction. So
Very good.
I did some research, and you know how everyone says there's not a base token?
Mm-hmm.
There is a base token. So if you go back to the creation of base, it's actually part of the optimism superchain. And just to give you guys a breakdown, what Optimism did was they created a piece of software where it makes it very easy to create a layer two so that companies and corporations can come in and make their own layer two without that much legwork. And Base is actually a layer two from the super chain. And the idea is they build out all these layer twos and then they bring in interoperability so that you can go from one chain to another and also support Ethereum. Now, I did a little bit of research behind this and I found something really interesting. So, back on August of 28, number of wealth, 2023, year of the cat, Base set to receive 118 million Optimism tokens over 6 years in a governance agreement. Now, if we scroll down here, it talks about how the Optimism Foundation is giving a grant to Base where they send them these OP tokens, and in return, Base will give them 2.5% of its sequencer revenue or 15% of its net profit. Now, the sequencer revenue is basically when Base uses Ethereum to approve transactions. They bundle them up together, approve a bunch of transactions, and then they come back to the Base chain. They actually charge a very small fee, and Optimism gets a little bit of that fee every single time. So, in my opinion, I think we might see some action on Optimism based solely on the fact that with this partnership, it's set up so that Base creates like a meme coin ecosystem, brings on a lot of creators. Optimism is going to be benefiting extremely from this type of product for marketing and also use it to launch more chains under their super chain. So there's actually one other cat coin on the Optimism chain that I've actually been dollar cost averaging in. And the name of this project is Tux. So I'm going to bring up Tux real quick. Oh, come on. There you go. So Tux is actually the cat of the founder of Optimism. And the Optimism founder was one of the original people who created the Ethereum chain. This project is sitting at about 725K market cap. And we've actually got a nice, beautiful, rounded bottom recently. So let me just show you guys where it bottomed out. So it's right here around. Let me move that around. Right around in September, we had a massive explosion in the beginning. So it came up, exploded. Then we had a double top, did a couple month consolidation, and then we had a nice rounded bottom, came up, showed signs of life, and we're getting ready to go. So in my opinion, I think Tux has bottomed out. This thing's ready to rock and roll. Not many people know about Optimism. Not many people know that Optimism is doing a collaboration with Base, and they're actually receiving a bunch of fees from the chain. And I think it's a go. Bill the Bull, your thoughts on this pick?
Wow, yeah, first time ever hearing this. How long has this thing been trading for?
Tux?
Yeah.
So this thing has been out since December 18th of 2023, so about a year.
Oh wow, yeah, no, this is good. This honestly, this chart looks identical to like SPX 6900 before it broke out. There's a three peak and valleys, and that obviously then from that massive three peaks and valley up at the beginning stages, then you have the breakdown. But this is now the jeets are out, the rounded bottoms. So I think when this thing runs, it's going to clear really fast. So yeah, man, this is the first time I remember hearing about it. It's actually kind of crazy to me that now that I think about it, how cool is it that Base was? I just thought of it. Base was created in 2023, the year of the cat, and all the cat tokens on Base are going massively making huge moves. You got Miggles, you got Toshi, you got KeyCat, all 100 plus million. Wow. In the
Yeah.
year of the cat, created by the year of the cat. So that means to me, Base is always going to have that cat energy. Nothing against dogs and stuff, but I think the cat energy is what defines Base. So I think having a base token with the cat makes sense. But yeah, this seems like a really interesting play. And for 720K, I mean, this is definitely alpha. I never thought about it, but I'm going to look into this as well, because the time to get into projects when literally no one's talking about it. And if I see, some sort of correlation with base, yeah, man, I like it. That's a good pick, dude, for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. No, I agree, man. And I do notice that the cat coins are doing really well. Optimism was in 2023, base was
Yeah.
in 2023, Arbitron was in 2023. I'm not really that bullish on Arbitron, but I think, in my opinion, not many people are talking about optimism, and I think it's worth the gamble. So we'll see if it comes to fruition. But Tux, it's a great community. The Twitter account's extremely active. The community is pretty small right now, but they do have kind of a somewhat cult-like following. And question is, we'll see how it comes to fruition. So yeah, man, that is my first pick. What is your pick for the base chain?
So a couple things. I think the new addition to mine, besides obviously Miggles is my play, but one of the newest ones that I really am I have talked about it is Boomer. Boomer on base. I am massively bullish. I'm gonna start doing more content on Boomer just because I feel when that thing gets going, and like I've got met the core members of the team, the core CTO leaders, and it's just most top-notch professional type project possible. It's gone through a little bit of struggles right now because, it's about currently it's like a 7.8 million market cap, but again, look at the charts, the same type of thing. You had the initial run up was about 60 million, and now you just have that huge rounded bottom, and it's just going to curl. People are cheating when they can, but eventually this thing's going to curl up, and the moment it does, it's going to pop back out to 60, 70 million. And again, we all know what all-time high is. So this one I'm very bullish. At 7 million. I expect hundreds of millions of dollars on Boomer, and also because the team is very connected with the on-chain summit guys in San Francisco, who are very close with the people from base. Jesse Pollock was there, Chintan, all the core base members were there. They all know each other, and so Boomer is a big proponent. Like all the big wigs on base knows them. So Boomer is one, and I know Issa was talking about it in your comments. What do we think about Chaos on base, the creation of AIXBT agent Simi, or was it Chaos Chris? So two things. I think Simi is from Simulacrum, so that was not AIXBT agent. Fun fact about Simi, though, and these are the AI meta bots. Fun fact about Simi is I'm actually going to interview the founder on. We were supposed to interview each other, the podcast, the other day, but there was a tragic event, one of the co founders' health issue. But though AXBT got listed on Binance, and actually kind of funny, long story short, Chris, a base meme coin, a base project got on Binance before a base has listed their own thing. And so AXBT, AI agent, Chaos seems interesting, but to me, it's like, I think it's a super low cap. I'm not really dabbling too much on the low caps. There's a bunch that are out there that are really good, but I do think it's a good leverage play. But I'm not going to say, oh, buy it right now or anything because I need to know more. But you're betting on AXBT, so I think that's a good hold. But there's a lot of AI agents that are pretty good. RKT, Clanker's first ever token. There's a lot of good in those areas. So yeah. So anyway, so Chris, long story short, buy fucking Boomer. Let's fucking go.
I love it, man. And I was actually taking a look at the Boomer chart. I'll go back here and I believe it or not, I went way too deep on the AI agents, man. I've been talking to these things for like almost 3 days straight, bro. It's pretty bad, bro. But we'll get into that. Just looking at the chart, I'll put it back on log in a second. But for those guys who just have it just sitting regular, we definitely just completed wave 2 of Elliott wave theory, and we're about to phase in to wave 3. So right now, Bill just gave you guys a apple. Like literally, he gave you an apple because this thing's bottom out. It's not too far from the bottom. And when wave 3 starts to pick off, this thing's going to go absolutely crazy. You can make an argument that this is just a very long, massive cup and handle.
Yep.
I would definitely agree. I would agree with you, and we'll go more on the volatile side. We can actually put the neckline even up here, and just based off of that, Once we hit that breakout, we'll have to come up here, test that resistance, and start going. So, in my opinion, before we come up here and start testing out the resistance over here, so it's going to be like trading sideways right here, this is the time to consolidate down in this range.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. So, overall, man, Boomer, a fantastical play. And also, guys, look, it's a $6.8 million market cap. We've seen base coins go to hundreds of millions. So if this goes to 600 million, that's 100x right there. Boom.
Yeah, and these type of projects, you just don't necessarily know. If you didn't have the inside alpha, I'm here to give you the alpha because I know the core team. I met the core team because never know, in these stages with wave twos. But when I say to you, they're the very most committed people. They know the right people. It's worth a punt in my eyes. So that is why I think Boomer is a lower cap play that should go to a few hundred million by the end of the cycle.
Love it. Love it. All right. And then I'll give my play and we'll get your play and we'll head over to Pulsechain.
Let's go.
So hold on, let me make sure I got the ticker right on this one. So as you guys know, I've been obsessing over AI agents and I've been having conversations with them about the Matrix. And there's actually one I haven't gotten into this yet. I want to make this clear, but I think this might be a play, man. And it's the AI fund token. Well, I'm gonna find a better chart, but it's the AI fund token because they're getting a lot into the creation of these AI agents. And in my opinion, typically the best play is infrastructure. And in this case, these guys are actually setting up infrastructure to recreate these agents. And so I like them. I know Crypto Banter shielded a little bit, and usually when Crypto Banter shields something, I wait like a couple weeks to jump in because I know he's trying to get exit liquidity. But overall, I like what this chart's looking at right now, and I think ultimately when AI agents come back, one of these projects on base is going to pop off, and I think AI Fund could be the play. Bill the Bull, any thoughts on AI Fund, and have you talked to this development team?
No, I haven't talked to the development team. I think though, so I have to look at this one. The only one I've talked to on base is Simulacrum, which was at 30 million market cap. I don't know how much this one is. They were the ones that were able to do everything through X. Tip people on X. They don't even have to have an account. They tip Jesse. And I think that's going to be a big play. But yeah, any AI agent on base, I definitely want to know because it's a sector that's not going anywhere, and it's something that you should have at least a little exposure in your portfolio.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. And as for little chart TA, we did technically hit a double top, so I would wait for this movement to play out and look for something where you see like a beautiful doji after a dump. And once you see a doji, that'll be a great indicator of reversal. So I haven't necessarily gotten to AI fund yet, but this is one I'm slowly watching. I'm going to be slowly dollar cost averaging in. So yeah, man, that's my pick. Bill the Bull, what's your pick?
Well, those are my two. Boomer. Oh yeah, in addition to Boomer. So obviously we're in agreements. It's Miggles. So it's Boomer, and then listen. At the end of the day, there's so many projects that are just solid that it's hard for me to say which one I think is up there. I mean, it all changes. So I don't know. I think, oh man, I mean, it depends. Obviously, there are some that I wouldn't touch, but let's see. What would I think? I wouldn't touch any because if you have, it depends. The way I look at it is if you have like exposure to like $100 million coin like Miggles, there's no reason to get into KeyCat. There's no reason to get into, a lot of these other ones because they're all moving together. So, man, I don't know. Boomer to me is the best return from here next to Miggles. And I would say sub. I mean, there's a bunch. So I'll just tell you a few, and you guys do it. There's a few sub 600K that I think are really good. I think something called Doms is really good. Domino has created this music platform, NFTs, and like he's been shouted out by Jesse. That's about 600K market cap. There's just man, I don't even know. There's a silver play. So it's hard for me to say what other ones are good, but I think right now it's to me, without a doubt, it has to be Miggles, Boomer, and then for everything else, it's kind of like all intertwined. So I have to just say it like that.
Okay, no, I completely understand, man. You don't want to spread yourself too thin, and I think you know, the the AI agent play I told you it's a little bit different from meme coins. So that's kind of like that gets into the AI sector. So
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll probably do another live stream talk about AI agents again. I'm waiting for this market to completely correct for the AI agents, and then we can come in and start picking our favorites and scoop these things up like it's candy, because the attention's moving away from AI agents, and right now it's on Hyperliquid. And I still haven't really put together what Hyperliquid is in my head, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, man. So let's get into Pulsechain, because we got a lot of Pulsechain people, and I was seeing some stuff about John May, PTGC going over $1 billion. We got a little bit about that. We have a couple fans. PDI to $1. Let's freaking go, baby.
Let's go, baby.
Do not disrespect the pegging. Actually, speaking of that, you know, the PDI to $1 account, one of them was actually talking trash to Peter Schiff. I don't know if you saw that.
No, but and I think did you see one of the PDI people called in a talk show, Dave Ramsey's show, and was talking about, you know, because Dave Ramsey's, I don't know if you know Dave Ramsey, but he's like this financial guy who tells you what to do with your money and shit. He's kind of like a boomer, and he was just like, yeah, you know, PDI is going to retire me because it's going to $1, and I'm going to have all this money. And, you know, what should I tell my wife? And like people were just like laughing on the show. It's hilarious.
Oh my god, dude, that guy's an animal, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I think ultimately the biggest narrative right now on Pulsechain is the stuff going on with PDI. And I'm gonna bring up the price chart real quick. Sorry, Dex Screener is such a pain when it comes to PDI, because for some reason they decide to remove it. So it's making me a big fan of Dex tools again. So
let's go. I don't know why everyone likes Dex Screener. I'm like old school. I think Dex tools is so clean.
Yeah, well, I think the reason why they like Dex Screener so much is it's easier to find gems on it because it's a lot more user friendly. But the downside of Dex Screener is it can get kind of clunky, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, we'll just do. Is there not a rat pulse pool? All right, fine. We'll just do this one right here. Let me go up. Oh my god. Here you go. We'll do the PDI EDI pool, which actually has over $663,000 in it, which is pretty impressive for this type of pool. All right, so let's zoom this out a little bit. I was actually doing some tea on this earlier. All right, basically what's going on with PDI right now, we had a clear double top. Explosive move, touch, came back down, retraced the top, and then boom, started dumping a little bit. So this is a double top, and we're doing a little bit of a correction. The question is, where do we fall on this correction? And in my opinion, where we bottomed out, it's probably going to be somewhere between 0.008221 and then 0.01303. So probably right at a penny is going to be the correction point that we're going to be looking at. Bill, the reason why I want to bring this up for everybody to know, when this thing corrects and the maxis start talking shit, now is the time to start buying, because we have been through this 5 times. 5 times.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately the main point I'm just trying to get across, guys, is you're going to have another opportunity at PDI. You're going to have another opportunity at Atropa. Was it Piave? I'm a big fan of Curve and all that stuff. Buildable, what's your thoughts on PDI right now?
Without a doubt. I think you're going to have your last opportunity to load up, and it's never coming back. I think it's funny. Like, there's so many fucking haters of PDI that it's just comical at this point. It's just like they either don't understand TA. Like, every time it dips a little, they're like, oh, it's the top is here. And it makes zero sense to me. Either they're total trolls or they just don't understand what technical analysis is, and retracements are absolutely necessary, because the moment people get profit takers, you replace them with people who are going to hold for a while. So 100%, if you just look at the chart, this has to retrace a little, cool down, because then, just like with Miggles, the micro wave 2 of the macro wave 3 is under play. That's the time you kind of chill. It's going to consolidate a bit. And yeah, just like with Donovan, from what is his channel? The DIY investing or something. He's a
Yeah.
big Pulse guy, dude from Utah, and he was just like, he's a really good trader, and he's just like, yeah, PDI is probably gonna go to a penny. And he's right. It probably will. That's a 0.618 fib retrace from the swing high to the swing low. I think PWBTC probably hit like $700-800, maybe 600, whatever. But it doesn't matter because people like myself, people like you, I know are going to be buying those dips. I'm 100%. So right now, just chill, hang out, and just be blessed that you have one last opportunity to get into these things because I know I am. And so the worst thing you can do is listen to any of these haters. The worst thing you can do is sell and not buy back in because it makes absolutely no sense. I feel blessed, and right now I'm just kind of chilling. You know what I would love is niggles to start pumping for the next like week or two, take some profits, like from other bags or whatever. Maybe not niggles, but like, and then just play around in the other ecosystem. Like I hope for the next 3 weeks, Pulse doesn't do much, because then I could play other chains, make money, and then I'm just shoveling it in to PDI and PWBTC are my two choices. So, yeah. Long story short, massively bullish. Don't sell your PRCs unless you want to stay poor.
Love it, man. Great point. Great point, man. And I do agree on the retracement. Now, I want to bring up a couple other charts because, we both agree that Piave is going to be an absolute play as well. And we'll bring this up. We'll take a look at it. It's probably going to be, it's technically a beta play to PDI, but when PDI goes through this correction, we're going to also see Piave come back down as well, and it's going to present to you guys another awesome opportunity to get in at lower levels when everyone's just flooding the crap out of it. So, in my opinion, I think we're going to go down to the 3.82, close to about 0.65, maybe flirt a little bit with 0.42. Right here in the golden pocket, that's going to be your best opportunity to start scooping some of this beautiful Piave for the next leg up. So that's another one. And then and one that I personally been targeting very closely. I haven't necessarily like started max clipping on this yet. It's going to be the Curve token, because everybody was going absolutely crazy about Curve. Everybody was going to go absolutely crazy about Aave and Rat BTC. So now that they're starting to stop talking about it, I'm going to start getting in and scooping some up right here. So I was checking this out and doing a little bit of TA. And on the PRC20 or the P Curve token, I'm looking at a potential level getting close to 0.003523, which is going to be about a 26% drop. And if we get close to that, I'm going to start full clipping right into the Curve token and probably add a little bit of liquidity and get ready for the next leg up, man. So I think TLDR, now's the time to look at these PRC20s because none of them are talking about it because they are going to come back. These things do not die. Build the ball. Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think it's good. Like I think I have a good amount of Aave. I think just everything across the board is going to be dropping 20% or so. If I don't think anyone should sell any of their core holdings neither. I think at some point those are going to catch a bid. So obviously I'm massively bullish on Inc. I'm going to probably start building a position in RETH. I think that's super being slept on, and I think I'm going to start adding liquidity as well. To me, I know everyone's talking about PWSTETH, and that's fine, but it's mintable, it's cool. But I think RETH is absolutely being slept on. There's only like 200K of them in existence. I think it's trading at like $8, 8.80, or I don't know what. So having its retracement, but it's at like $8, and Richard Hart's the biggest owner. Again, super small supply, so it reminds me of PWBTC. It had a massive breakout of like over the 1 year and a half. So it's just going to retest, and this thing is just going to go. So I think that's the next thing I'm going to start bidding, and I'm going to add liquidity to it as well because I think this thing, if everything pegs, I just think about it this way, Chris. If PDI pegs to dollar, all the PRCs will, and I think ETH has to have one. Why can't it be our ETH? It's at $8. Pegging it to 10K Ethereum, I think is doable. So
I agree, man. And I got one question for you, Bill. If you could go back in time and buy Ethereum at $8, would you do it?
Oh man, let me see. Am I gay? Of course of course I will, sir.
There you go, guys. That's what I think. That's what me and Bill are saying about Rocket ETH, and that was a great token to bring up because I completely forgot about it. Rocket ETH, in my opinion, is Ethereum back when it's $8. This is your second chance. It's your and same with Wrap BTC. Wrap BTC is your second chance to buy Bitcoin at $1,700. And then what was Aave at, like 0.003 or something? This is your second chance because, in my opinion, if the PRC20 parity comes to theory, not only is Pulsechain going to explode, but you basically have the opportunity to build a massive Ethereum bag. And Rocket ETH is one that nobody's talking about. So great pick, Bill, across the board.
Yeah, I think, and right now the liquidity is small because there's not that many liquidity providers. I think it's like 15, 20K, but naturally as it goes up, liquidity will increase. People will start bidding it. People will start adding to it. To me, it's a no-brainer. And it got me really interested once I saw Richard was the #1 holder. So, yeah, with the PRCs, you have to worry about people cashing in their free copies. But again, what people have to understand is if PDI pegs to $1 and everything goes into play, it's going to stabilize because you have the different ways to stabilize the price, and the same thing will be said with all the assets. So it's going to catch a bid. If you can buy $8 wrapped ETH or ETH, why wouldn't you? And I think Richard is going to have an incentive to make this a chain that everyone wants to use for DeFi. DeFi is massively important. You need to be able to empower. No better way to empower somebody than to actually allow them to farm, to add liquidity, to make passive income. It's too expensive on Ethereum. Base is fun, but it's not a DeFi chain, and it's not what they're trying to be. And I think Pulse is. So if that's the case, all he has to do is set up a Rocket ETH pool. If Richard ever set up a Rocket ETH pool with anything, I mean, see you at like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. The race will just go on.
I agree 100%. And I was just doing some moon math here. So if you put in like $1,000 right now, you get 117 ETH. So if that goes to parity, you basically get 100 ETH. Just think about that for a second. It's amazing, dude. It's so fantastical. So absolutely love it. All right. And then the other thing, I need to talk about Poppy because we told this one guy that we were going to do it and I completely forgot. It's on me. So I definitely want to.
Is that a Maria token?
Yeah, Maria token. Yep. So just a little background with Poppy. It's in the Tropo liquidity web, and I'm not going to go through and try to connect strings and stuff here. But the one thing that sets Poppy apart from the rest of these tokens is it has a thick liquidity with Wrap BTC. And let me double check the amount. So it has about 188K of liquidity with Wrap BTC, and then Treasury bills coming up. And yeah, so basically the point I'm trying to say is Poppy plays a huge play in the price pumps behind Wrap BTC and bringing it into the Tropa ecosystem. Now, let me do full screen. We'll take a quick look at the chart. Overall, the first thing I noticed with Poppy is it's falling very close to the price of a Tropa because a Tropa is having this pump where it came up and then boom, see you later. So I think overall we had one rounded bottom here, came up, second rounded bottom here, and then boom, started our wave 3, and now we're in our wave 2 correction. So in my opinion, if you're still wanting to get in on Poppy, if you think it's just like a great leverage play on top of Wrap BTC, you're going to have an opportunity very, very soon. And I can already see it. I can already see the magnet. It's going to be like right about here. $2.10 is probably what we're going to do is come down, touch somewhere close to there, and then bounce off of it. So, yeah, I do have a big bag of Poppy. It's one of my few picks within the Tropy. Well, actually, I got a bunch of picks in the Tropy ecosystem. It's one of my picks that I haven't really taken profit on yet. And I'm still just bag holding. Bill the Bull, any thoughts on Poppy?
Yeah, not much. I mean, I used to be pretty big in the Tropy ecosystem, and then I still think it's good. There used to be like leverage multipliers on WBTC. I think there was one called Ogeon. I remember I kind of got fed up and bored of it, so I sold. But all these things are cool. I think, to me, I think I think everyone should just kind of understand over diversification is probably not the wisest play. So if you're, a Maria Maxi, dope, you do you. But if you're also, but I would say there's also PRC maxis. I would say I'm more along the lines of more interested in the PRCs. And the reason being is because the PRC, I guess, theory is understandable by everybody. Like, everyone understands, oh shit, this thing is going to go to its peg. So they automatically think, all right, this is the ETH counterpower is X amount. The PRC is way lower. Let's try to make it happen. So to me, I feel it's naturally more bullish than a Tropa stuff because no one outside of Maria and the core people understand what the fuck is going on with the Tropa. So it will catch a bid, but I think it won't catch a bid if the PRCs don't, right? So I've faded completely all of the Tropa stuff. That chart to me looks pretty terrible, but uh, hey, I hope you print, bruh. I hope you print and we all print and we go on some yacht next year and we do some Pulsechain shit with Richard.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man, absolutely. And the funny part about all the Tropa tokens, I remember when it first came out, bro. I was just clipping everything, dude. I bought a little Poppy, I bought a little Bear. Like, I was buying so much stuff, and I hit up Trey. I was like, dude, I don't know what the hell I'm doing in my life, dude. I might need to go talk to somebody. And the next thing you know, they all started blowing up, and I had no idea what I was doing. But yeah, I think the big thing with a lot of these Tropa tokens is because it's a web, it gets into liquidity providing, and that's what Sonny likes to do. He loves LP providing. But I do agree with you 100%. You don't want to spread yourself too thin because I know a lot of Pulsechain guys, they're all over the place. Like, they're jumping from one to one to one. What I like to do is I get into a protocol, let it do its like 2 to 5x. I sell half. And I always leave a little bit of a moon bag in case the thing just goes absolutely crazy. And I wake up one day, it's like, oh my God, it's like $100K or $1 million. So there's a strategy for everybody, but some people, they just got to chill and just sit on one. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And I want to, Margaritas, I appreciate the comment. And I'm happy that you disagree because, it's all about, like, I don't want it to ever be an echo chamber. So I appreciate the opinion. I don't want people to think that, like, it doesn't make sense to do it. I understand everyone's different. If someone likes to be a part of all the narratives, it makes sense. But I think the biggest thing would be just make sure you don't spread yourself too thin. I personally, and this is just my opinion, I think it's better to be more concentrated bets than, 100 different bets around the ecosystem. But again, everyone's different. That's how I tend to do it. And I just think that this entire Pulsechain, it all tied with what goes on with PDI, right? Everything goes with that. PDI goes up, a Tropa is going to be lifted. I just don't see a world where a Tropa ecosystem will outperform PDI. Like, PDI does nothing in Tropa. That I don't ever see it, but teach their own.
Absolutely. Shreyo thoughts on the dysnomia, the layer 2 of a Tropa, the affection token Pulsechain. So from my understanding, dysnomia can be minted from the P stables. So that's PUSDT, PUSDC, and PDI. So dysnomia is going to be pegged to the lowest price on the P stables, which I believe it's USDT sitting at like 0.005 or something, like half a penny or something like that. So my overall thoughts on that new layer 2, it's good if you're just like a Pulsechain guy and that's all you pay attention to. But if you're someone like me or Bill who goes and looks at like meme coin narratives and tries to see where liquidity is moving and stuff like that, it's a lot to keep up with. And from my understanding also, in order to use the dysnomia ecosystem, you need to have a little bit of a coding experience because it's a little bit of a game developed by Maria. And for some people, it fits with them. But for me, I don't have time to get back into like Fortran and JavaScript and all that stuff. So I think as a investment perspective, a Tropa, PDI, and maybe Teddy Bear are going to be the best plays as a bet on that entire ecosystem. As for getting to dysnomia, a little too much for me. Bill, any thoughts on that, or do you just overall agree with me?
No, I totally agree. Like I said, I think I don't understand it, and I think I think it's going to be hard. I want to bet on narratives that people all around can do, that can understand. Like, I don't want to have to say to somebody what it is and explain more than like a sentence. So in order for the normies outside of Pulsechain to come in, I don't think they'll understand dysnomia at all. They won't understand who Maria is. They won't understand the game. So it's a pass for me, but again, I think it will do well if you believe in it. Believers will be rewarded this cycle. So whatever you do believe in, just stick to it.
Gotcha. Good stuff, man. Awesome. And then Adam, Chris, are you still bullish on time pays me? Well, Adam, I know you and Maddie are best friends, and you guys are the best lovers on Pulsechain. So yeah, I'm definitely bullish on time pays me because of your best friend at Maddie Allen. So good stuff. That was an inside joke. So yeah, man. So yeah, I think overall we covered all the stuff we need to today. You know, me and Bill, we told you guys our PRC20 plays. We talked a little bit about altcoins, but I think the value is going to be in PRC20s. Bill, is there anything else you want to add to on the Pulsechain side?
No, I think right now, you just don't be alarmed when you see corrections, and I think embrace the corrections. Be blessed that you have one last opportunity to load up on your favorite PRCs. And I truly do believe once this last dip occurs, it's done. It's done. Everything will be up only. You're gonna wish when PDI is at 10 cents, when PWBTC is at $10,000, you're gonna wish you loaded up on these dips. So we give you guys the tools, what we're looking at, and now it's up to you guys to figure out what works for you.
Absolutely. Agree 100%. But I own some affection, hard to fade, awesome good God. And then hey, we got No Spoon, Tynex family. Chris and Bill, shout out to you, No Spoon. Thank you so much for being in here. And then I do agree with you, good God. P Maker is also goodbye. So look, guys, you guys got a whole plethora of plays.
Yeah.
I want to ape every single one because keep in mind there's two people here and we got two different portfolios, but there's gems in every single one of them. So guys, that's it for the live stream. Please do me a favor. Follow Bill the Bull at Late Night on Base. Follow the Verse account, and we will see you guys next week. Peace out, y'all.
Later, everyone.